Welcome to our first ever Atlanta Caribbean Soccer League video review. For our first review, we actually have two games on tap for your pleasure. First, we'll review the midweek match between Sandy Springs FC and TC United played at Hammond Park in Sandy Springs on July 8th. And we'll also review the weekend top-of-the-table match between Atlanta Green Eagles and Sandy Springs FC at Southeast Athletic Complex played on July 12th. TC United were coming into this first match at the bottom of the table, having forfeited 2 games of 4 in this young short season, a problem that their coaching staff seems to have addressed as they look to provide a full squad for the balance of the season. Sandy Springs, on the other hand, have had a great start to the season, coming in undefeated with 10 points out of a possible 12 as they hover near the top of the ACSL table. It was set up to be an interesting night of football between two teams with different fortunes so far at this point of the season. Sandy Springs were first to get on top in the match, stringing together quick passing with good possession, eventually producing Gilbert Ezra, who presented a perfectly timed pass, helping Brian Martinez beat the TC United offside trap. And it was then one-on-one with the keeper, and Martinez bested the encounter, sliding in past the keeper for a 1-0 lead in the first minute of play. A dream start for Sandy Springs as they look to continue a run of winning results in the league. A replay shows how well executed Gilbert's pass was, and from there it was up to the skill of Martinez to hold his nerve and put away the finish for the score. Sandy Springs continued to play well, and on this occasion, Metsantika Mokatsana's pressure won a challenge that put in Pedro Leo, who expertly dispatched for the 2-0 lead, and Sandy Springs were flying. You can see on the replay how the early pressure from Sandy Springs was paying dividends in getting possession and turning that quickly into attack. The question would be, could Sandy Springs continue this pace in the game? But if anyone thought the game was decided at that point, they would have been wrong, as TC United showed their skill and character moments later as they grabbed possession from Sandy Springs on the right side and had Jordy quickly turn and punch in an expert ball to grab a goal back at 2-1 midway through the first half. And just like that, TC United were back in the game. A replay shows the skill and composure of Jordy as he made room for himself and wasted no time scoring a forward's goal past the flat-footed Sandy Springs keeper. The second half produced another quick goal from Sandy Springs as Mokatsana produced a wonderful chip for score after a long leading pass from deep in the midfield to put Sandy Springs up in a commanding 3-1 lead at this point in the game. A replay shows that the low percentage long ball from Sandy Springs may have caught TC United's back line off guard, and Mokatsana was allowed in virtually unmarked to take and convert his chance for the score for Sandy Springs. But just as it was in the first half, TC United had a waiting answer, this time from a set piece. A wonderfully executed free kick was buried from a powerful header by Mike Messerat to again put TC United firmly back into the match early in the second half. A replay shows that Messerat rose the highest and put in an unstoppable header for the goal to draw United back within a goal of Sandy Springs, but it would get worse for Sandy Springs on the night. TC United must have smelled blood in the water and took full advantage with wave after wave of attack, and on this occasion a low cross from the right made its way onto the onrushing Jordy, who leveled the game with his second and TC United's third, creating a brand new game at 3-3. The replay shows that there seemed to be enough Sandy Springs defenders in the area, but maybe a little bit of ball watching allowed in Jordy, who made no mistake from close range. The young Sandy Springs side seemed to come undone a bit at this point, allowing pressure and possession from TC United that produced a fourth and go-ahead score from the informed Messerat, as he was first to the ball to blast past the Sandy Springs keeper and a lead for TC United for the first time in the match. A replay shows that again there were Sandy Springs defenders in the area, but TC United would not be denied the goal-scoring opportunity, with Messerat beating all to the ball to put it home for the go-ahead score. From there, it gets even worse for Sandy Springs, who had started so brightly in the match. Skipper Sal Ortiz was shown a straight red after a kick-out retaliation, after Ortiz claimed he was deliberately stomped on during a challenge. The referee did not see it that way, and there was no further action taken in the incident. So down to 10 men went Sandy Springs, and with all composure and discipline gone from them at this point, a careless foul was committed by Sandy Springs within range for a free kick to TC United. Zaid Mirza dutifully stepped up and put in a perfect free kick for the unlikely 5-3 lead in injury time of the match, deepening the disappointment for Sandy Springs on the day. The replay shows how perfectly executed this free kick was, giving the newly substituted Sergio Cavillo in the Sandy Springs goal no chance with the ball placed in the top left corner. A last gasp shot by midfielder Tolu saw any hope of a consolation goal sail over the bar for Sandy Springs. Then it was the final whistle to end a great victory for TC United and a dismal disappointment for Sandy Springs FC. We spoke to Sandy Springs' assistant manager in the changing room and two standout performers for TC United after the match. Not the best of results, so definitely for us today. I thought we had a really good game plan that we executed pretty well in the first half. Going into the second, we were up 3-1, and the spirit of the game changed. A lot of it is down to TC United. The adjustments they made toward us that we didn't respond well to. And so they clawed their way back into the game and went ahead and got the victory. And so all credit to TC United, who played the game they needed to play to get the victory. And I think you see in this type of game the quality of the league. TC United came into this game bottom of the table, and but they played well enough to beat anybody today. And so we're near the top of the table. We started brightly, but again, you have to play 90 minutes in this league, and so lots to take from this game, lots to learn from this match. And we have a tough game against the league leaders, Atlanta Green Eagles, on Sunday. And so hopefully we can take these lessons and turn it into some success, not only for that game, but for the balance of the season.
All right, we have Mike Messerot from TC United on the victory today. Quite a game.
Yeah.
You started out kind of slow maybe, but what's your impressions on how the game came out?
You know, I think we definitely started on our heels, and it took us a while to get going. You know, we had to adapt to a lot of things, you know, the turf, the lights, balls, you know, everything. And just as a team, we didn't gel in the first half. You know, we really had to come down at halftime and really figure out our game plan, because they were beating us to every ball, one touch, two touch, no matter what, head balls.
Yeah. So, Owen, what do you attribute the change? I mean, it was the first half you were a little bit behind, and like you say, it was kind of chasing the game. In the second half, you guys asserted yourself. What was the change that happened?
Well, you know, we got a lot of experienced guys on the team, you know, and I think, you know, the more experienced guys on the team basically took over with leadership, you know, explained to a couple of the younger guys what we need to do, what we need to accomplish in the second half to overcome the deficit that we had in the first. So, you know, picked up our touches, picked up our pressing, just worked as a unit, and, you know, came as it did.
Good. You've had a sort of a slow start to the season. Had a forfeit this past Sunday, but now with this victory, do you think that will start to trend to some better results?
I think that'll jumpstart everybody starting to come out. You know, I mean, you know, with the first two, the loss or the tie that we had, and then the two forfeits that we had, you know, I mean,
those hurt when you can't play.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, you know, when you get 4 or 5 guys show up to a game, and then, you know, it brings the demeanor down on the team, and, you know, people don't want to show. But hopefully with this, you know, we got a good group of guys now.
Yeah,
so
morale boost now.
Yeah, big morale boost, especially coming down from 3-1 and win the game 5-3.
Away from home.
From home.
Yeah, on the strange field and everything.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But congratulations on a good victory. You guys played well, and look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Zach.
Appreciate it.
All right, so we have Jordy here from TC United. Good victory for you guys today. Good comeback. What's your first impressions on the game? I know it started out slowly.
Yeah, we came out a little bit slow. They were a quick team, very young, athletic team. We're more of a team that likes to possess and keep the ball. So first half, first 20 minutes, you know, we were down a couple. But the thing about our team is a lot of experience. And the experience ends up coming, you know, technically we're sound, we know what to do, and so as the game developed, you know, the maturity of our team came to light, and you know, thus, you know, had a lot of opportunities and finished the game.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys just held your composure, where Sandy Springs lost their composure in the second half. Do you attribute that to the time that you guys have spent together, both as a team and in the league?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think there's a lot of things. Coach Shanks does a great job with the group. We've got these guys. A lot of them have played together for quite a long time, and then we have a lot of guys that have played at quite a high level. And so when you combine all those things together, we gel. We have experience. We know to keep our heads. We know it's going to come, and it's a matter of time. And a lot of the teams that are younger and a little bit more less experienced than we are, I think they fall apart when things don't go their way. So
yeah, I think we saw an illustration of that today. But good victory. Congratulations. Oh, one other question. Do you think this will I know you've had a rough start to the season. You had a forfeit, is that right?
We did,
this past
yeah,
Sunday.
we did.
Do you think this victory will kind of start the trend to better results coming up in the coming weeks?
I definitely hope so. I think for us, the key is having players show up for the games. When we have numbers, I think the quality is there. It's a matter of getting 11 players there or 14 or 15 players there. When we do that, we seem to do well and we come together. But if we show up with 7 or 8, it's tough to. It's a good league, so it's tough to show up with 7, 8 players.
Okay, well, Graves, thank you for spending time with us, and good luck in the next games coming up.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our bonus review again features new club Sandy Springs FC going up against the current league leaders Atlanta Green Eagles in a top-of-the-table clash at Southeast Athletic Complex in Lithonia, Georgia, just outside Atlanta. The Green Eagles have so far been perfect to start out the campaign in the Atlanta Caribbean League, on maximum points with many new faces coming on board to bolster an already powerful squad. Sandy Springs FC are coming off one of their worst performances of the league campaign so far, and will be looking to make amends in this very important match against another quality side in the league. For Sandy Springs, it was going to be a lesson in a brand of football they're not used to from previous competitions. The tackles are hard, heavy, and frequent, with a little something extra added, which is a reputation earned in this league. But Sandy Springs would soak up the rough play allowed and would be the first to get something out of the match. It started with good movement forward, spearheaded by the informed Brian Martinez, who held possession and turned and let loose with his right foot from long range to open the scoring. It was just the answer needed after such a disappointing outing in midweek and today against the league leaders. A replay shows how Martinez held off the challenge to find space for himself before turning to take the right-footed shot, which found its mark. Wingback Raul Monge was next when he was put in by Brian Martinez, but his header would be just over the bar. Martinez also was putting in more pressure, here again from long range, and this time with his left foot, but the attempt is just wide. Springs was getting closer and closer to a second, and on this occasion it was Martinez again, skimming off the top of the bar. But Atlanta Green Eagles are in first place for a reason, and they proved it later in the half when a Sandy Springs Central defender was caught in possession in a dangerous area, and the pressure created a chance that was put away for the equalizer. 1-1, and the game was picking up speed. The replay shows the defender dwelling too long on a ball in front of his own goal, and the pressure and unmarked forward was presented a gift that was put away past Cavillo in goal. Then, late in the first half, an in-swinging corner from Atlanta Green Eagles fooled Cavillo in goal, and his attempt to clear went horribly wrong, and he ended up hitting through his own goal, gifting the Green Eagles the lead right on the stroke of halftime. The replay shows that Cavillo should have done better, but his attempt was awkward, and the Green Eagles went into the half ahead 2-1. Sandy Springs again started brightly in the second half, and they were on level terms when a wonderful through ball beat the Green Eagles offside trap. And while Green Eagles argued with the referee about the no call, they left their goalkeeper stranded one-on-one with the prolific Martinez, who toyed with the challenge and then dispatched the goal to bring the game level. The replay suggests that the number 8 player for the Green Eagles actually played Martinez onside at the time the pass was made, and the rest was done by Martinez for his second of the match. As time counted out, it looked as if both teams were going to share the points on the day, but then Raul Monge won possession outside the Green Eagles area and let loose with a rocket that hit the Green Eagles keeper, and Sandy Springs went ahead 3-2 in the match. You can see in the replay Monhaid managed to win the possession and had only a nose for goal afterwards, letting loose the shot that sealed the win for Sandy Springs. The final whistle would blow, and Sandy Springs had a valuable 3 points in their quest to challenge for the league title this year. And that's all the time we have for this week for this extra special pilot broadcast for the Atlanta Caribbean Soccer League's football highlight show. We'd especially like to thank Sandy Springs FC's media team who provided all of the footage you enjoyed today. And in future broadcasts, you'll see more teams and matches from throughout the Caribbean League. We hope you've enjoyed the program, and please share and support these teams and players who have such a passion for this game. Keep checking back with us for future programs, and we'll see you next time.